Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and welcome to my house. It's time for another ServiceNow Store Highlights version 03242023 or SSH version 3242023. I am recording this on the 22nd. The 22nd is the day that Utah General Access or General Availability happened. I did my ServiceNow Store crawl yesterday on the 21st, so I'm not expecting a bunch of ServiceNow last minute releases in this episode. You can probably find it in next weekend's episode, or next week's episode, not next weekend, which will be the 31st, unless I do something crazy and find a bunch of stuff. So for this episode, it's not too bad. You can see we have 33 applications total that we're going to cover in this episode. There are 9 new releases, 12 highlights, 4 compatibility updates, 3 fixes, and 5 release notes fails. We'll start with those release notes fails and jump right into this episode. Let's take a look at who did not give us the release notes we need to understand why we need to upgrade these apps. BitSite for vendor risk management, CG4 asset tracking, Guardrails, NetEnrich Connect, and Qualys VMDR. All of these had release note fails. Let's open the first one. If you haven't seen my channel, these episodes before, what is a release notes fail? It is when the same release notes are in each version that they released, and we can't figure out what's new in this version. So this actually, they haven't updated since version 1.9.0 was the last time they had allows removing the API key, and that's it. So they've had 2 versions since then. We have no idea what's being upgraded, and that's why it's a release notes fail. We'll move on to our next ones. Here is going to be our fixes. Fixes are usually small little things not worth covering, and there are 3 of them this week: Engagement Messenger, Qualys Core, and Tanium Vulnerability Response Integration. All had either bug fixes or minor fixes in this particular update. Next on our list is going to be compatibility updates. There are 4 in this one: Bug Zero Operational Resistance, SIT Kanban Board, YDS OneSearch, and Zebra MotionWorks Asset Management Connector. These all had compatibility updates to Utah or some version of or release of ServiceNow. So if you're using one of these apps and you've been waiting on it to be compatible, you may want to go check out one of these and see if that's what you're waiting on. So that's the compatibility ones. Now let's get to the fun stuff, the new releases. What came out since the last episode? We'll start with Deloitte. Had 3 there at the top of the list. Deloitte Connected Supply Chain Control Tower. This enables manufacturing logistics companies to automate processing of real-time events. Key features are performance analytics, continual improvement, workflow automation, targeted communications, public knowledge base, service management CSM, and all-in-one documentation, with some technical features that kind of repeat the same thing except for workflow and flow designer, daily reporting, service level agreement, and internal and external performance management. Honestly, all a little vague there, not very specific, and the screenshots are videos. I'm not going to play any videos within my video because it'd be weird. So, new app from Deloitte Connected Supply Chain Control Tower out this week. Next up on our list is also from Deloitte, the Managed Shopfloor OTSM, improve the management of all operational technology services. Key features here are incident management, workflow automation, issue documentation, the service catalog, targeted communications again, field service management, and service portal. Technical features, reporting and KPIs, event management, incident management, and configuration management. Just like the last one, we've only got videos, no screenshots to show you. So that is the second one from Deloitte. And the third one, Deloitte's Regulated Products Management. Stay ahead of business and government regulatory needs with Deloitte's Regulated Products Management. Key features: eliminate manual order replacement, improve access of data collected, combine traceability and licensing in a single platform, reduce resolution times and analytics to allow data-driven regulatory supply chain insight. Technical features: track and trace capability, case management, self-service, supply chain solution for entire lifecycle of your products, and reporting and analytics. And this one has no screenshots or videos, but that's the third new one from Deloitte Consulting. Next on our list is going to be from TM Labs, and this is the IRM Essential 8 Compliance Suite. And whoa, stop the presses. I'm noticing something new. Pricing is front and center. This is a store update or something different. I have never seen the pricing that obvious before. I don't know if this is if this is TM Labs or is this something new in the store. Let's click this View More button together. This is pretty cool. So pricing tiers. All right, so maybe this is the first app that looks like this that I've seen, but this is interesting. So I've never seen pricing like, usually it's like contact sales at the tmlabs.com if you want pricing. It's never really this clear. So kudos to ServiceNow or kudos to TM Labs, but let's get into it. Complete solution to your Essential 8 compliance requirements, key features, that's a lot of words. Mitigation strategies, core content being an authority document and citations, implementation architecture, the core content around ASCSC loaded with the ServiceNow GR ecosystem. Again, more authority documents and documentation. Mapping between 8 essential mitigation strategies and 3 different dashboards with specific reports targeted towards core and actionable event content to drive the implementation scopes towards desired maturity levels. Let's take a look at these screenshots here. That is a dashboard of Essential 8 core strategy and a maturity. Here we've got implementation scope, and it looks like some mitigation strategies around some activities targeting some configuration items, or as ServiceNow calls them, some entities, and the maturity level there. Let's go to the next screenshot. This is Essential 8 activity. So we've got, this is actual activity, a target, a mitigation strategy, associated citation, the status of it, the target maturity level, and what risk framework it came with. And then it looks like some statistics for control objectives without controls, non-compliant controls, issues, risk statements without risk, unmitigated risk, and remediation tasks, all related to that Essential 8 activity. Let's see, next up is the ISM core data. Looks like a pivot table within a dashboard showing control objectives, and along the top, those are control objectives. And along the top, we've got different columns for control objectives. That says control objectives too. Not sure there. You may want to dive into this one. Control objectives, control objective count. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm getting circular there. And then we're back to our dashboard. So sorry, Essential 8 people, if I messed up that last screenshot. I know risk and security and integrated risk management, but that did not look familiar to me. But new application from the TM Labs team. Let's go to our next one. My IT Footprint Workspace from Aguaro SaaS, SAS. This is My IT Footprint Workspace, a brand new look and feel, completely redesigned, modernized, simplified to make collection a breeze, whether you are familiar with ServiceNow or not. Simplified and unified platform navigation that brings everything together into one unified experience in one browser tab. There's some unification going on, everybody. Let's take a look at the screenshots. That is a workspace. Yes, it is. We got details and manuals sources. Let's go to the next one. We've got a pop-up for a filter. The next one, we've got personal computers, and this is going to be something in 15.6. I don't know what the heck we're looking at. The models. We're looking at models. And next is electricity consumption of dedicated buildings in kilowatt hours and manual sources. Okay, this feels kind of ESG. ESG. Okay, so that's My IT Footprint Footprint, the footprint of our IT workspace from Aguaro SAS, new application. Next is going to be from Claroty or Claroty, Service Graph Connector for Claroty, xDome, and Medigate. Detailed XIOT, I don't know what the X stands for, asset information with native ServiceNow data model support, and OT certified Service Graph Connector. Key features, wow. Certified connector, guided setup, configurable API, scripted extension points to override default mappings, scheduled import for using the IRE and the RTE, mapping, automated discovery, enrichment of all XIOT assets, merge the inventory with your IT inventory in ServiceNow CMDB, leverage their data in both new and existing IT, IOMNT, and OT workflows, harvesting security, risk, and operational context, and automated translation of all asset and related insights from their stuff into ServiceNow's native OT and medical data models. Gosh, quite a mouthful of features there. We do have some screenshots. Construction man that is ServiceNow OT certified. I guess it could be a manufacturing plant man. It could be a woman, but it looks man. I'm getting into the weeds here. Okay, Service Graph Connector. That's the setup of the Service Graph Connector. That's the guided setup that they called out in their features. There's more of the guided setup that they called out in their features. There's a dashboard for the integration itself, CMDB imports, process rows, how the rate of processing actively running, and here's a list of all the medical devices in the classic UI there. Next is a list of all the operational technology items and their manufacturers. And next is going to be the form of the medical device, showing the name, asset tag, location, all that stuff from the CMDB. And there's another medical device showing, okay, this is the related list they're showing down at the bottom. Key values there for this location and the value, the subcategory, the value, the DOME category, the value, and the PHI stored and transmitted. Wow, there's a lot going on there. There's location information, categorization information, and what ServiceNow will call an information object about this device having PHI on it. So interesting there. This is the OT device form, so more of the same there. It looks like an asset form, essentially. And contact support, so this is if you need help for industry or healthcare. And here's a catalog. Wow, this is a catalog of devices. Or is this their product? This must be Claroty. This must be their product, not Service. It kind of looks like ServiceNow, but I don't think that is. And there's another screenshot of their medical devices. There's some anesthesia carts and other machines. And there's our construction person with the hat that's ServiceNow OT certified. Okay, thanks Service Graph Connector for Claroty, xDome, and Medigate. Next on the list is going to be Service Graph Connector for Ordr. Ordr is missing a vowel. Because that's cool these days. But what is it? See, know, and secure every connected asset. Wait, assets is this theme today. Simplify inventory management and security for every managed, unmanaged, connected asset with an agentless passive solution. Import all those abbreviations into the CMDB. Get up and running in minutes with guided setup. Schedule imports from Ordr to the ServiceNow CMDB and configure through sys_properties, extension points, and integration hub ETL. Very similar to the last one we just looked at. I won't click on the video, but let's take a look at there's the guided setup, just like the last one we looked at. There's more of the guided setup, just like we looked at. There is a connection that you would configure within Flow Designer in the Connections tab. And let's see, here's a list of medical devices. And this is so similar to the last one. Some more medical devices here. And let's see, a medical device form and all the data associated with it. And there's the support. You know, these people just did the same thing as the last one we just looked at, and there's the video on YouTube. So that's the Service Graph Connector for Ordr from Ordr Inc. Hope I'm saying that name right. Next on the list is going to be VMware's Carbon Black Cloud for vulnerability response. Streamline vulnerability response workflows with Carbon Black Cloud vulnerability context directly in the ServiceNow Vulnerability Response Console. Key features: risk-prioritize vulnerability data from Carbon Black Cloud asset inventory ingestion, and then streamline ServiceNow vulnerability ticket creation and lifecycle management. We have some screenshots. There is the inventory page in ServiceNow. This is the metadata view of an inventoried item, Carbon Black Asset Desktop. This is the NVDEs associated or brought in, I guess, from Carbon Black, and then there is a form for an NVDE, and you can see that's got the vulnerability details and the exploit information. That's the related list down at the bottom showing the vulnerable items relating to that NVDE, and there is the vulnerable item. They clicked on that so you can see what that form looks like. And here is the configuration profile for connecting Carbon Black into the alert ingestion profile for connecting Carbon Black to your ServiceNow instance. There is the support page for Carbon Black Cloud support, and we're back to an inventory page. So helpful screenshots on this episode. I'm digging this, everybody. Okay, that was VMware Carbon Black for vulnerability response. Next up is going to be from Claroty, also having to do with vulnerability response integration with Claroty, xDome, and Medigate. Oh, look, we got the construction man back. This is XIoT device inventory risk and vulnerability information with ServiceNow. Key features: it's a certified ServiceNow vulnerability integration, and we know that because it had the man with the construction hat. It is, let's see, import vulnerabilities using the ServiceNow vulnerability integration framework, more guided setup. Optionally push vulnerability status updates from ServiceNow back out to Claroty to minimize swivel chair activities. Full vulnerability and risk visibility across your assets, your organization's assets. Merging of that data with your existing IT inventory in ServiceNow. Extend your existing IT vulnerability triage, remediation, and security operations center, or SOC workflows to your IoT assets and systems. Harness the detailed, more of the same words, and automated translation of all of those details from Claroty's native data model, enabling you to use exported insights to support the workflows in ServiceNow. So that's it. Let's click on the screenshots. We'll skip past the one I keep making fun of. There we got a list of vulnerabilities in maybe Claroty's app. And there they are again. And next we have now the guided setup in ServiceNow, so you can see that. And there is the connection form, putting in your API key or your integration profile, I guess. Complete with contextual help. Oh my gosh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Love to see that. I'm a fan of that. Give people the help that they need where they need it. And here's a list of vulnerable items in ServiceNow, a vulnerable item form in ServiceNow, and our construction person letting us know that it is ServiceNow OT certified. All right, that was our list of new applications, all 9 of them. Let's go now to the highlights. We have 12 highlights. Let's knock these out. First, from Beyond Trust Remote Support Enterprise Integration to version 2.2.7. They have improved handling of cached authentication keys and added the customer hostname as an available field for auto create field mapping. That's new from Beyond Trust. Up next on the list is going to be 3 more, I think. Brightfin Cloud. They updated to version 22.20.930. I had to make sure I read that one right. Key features for this one: new charge type for Cloud Summary VAT. Created a new charge type, VAT. Now, if Cloud Invoice for AWS has a VAT charge, it will be presented as a separate line item on the Cloud Service Summary. So that's what's new in version 22.20.930. All right, up next we have also from Brightfin, Fixed Telecom Management got upgraded to version. We got version parity here, 22.20.930. Key features in this one: upgraded fixed service, disconnected fixed service, or disconnect fixed service, skip quote management workflow, compare quote price, create bulk order quotes, generate quote approval notification, fixed notifications for request new fixed service provider action, and some improvements for telecom project items inventory and requested fixed service. These are some busy people. I went and checked to make sure nothing was repeated, so these are valid release notes for March 16th, 2023, coming to us from Brightfin for the Fixed Telecom Management to version 22.20.930. Next from them is going to be the Foundation application, also on the same version you saw in the last 2. Key features: account hierarchy. And let's see what else. Invoice processing for postponed invoices, improvements for update service attributes in bulk, improvements in the invoice approval process, invoice variance, cost history for invoice, audit rules, new audit rule for monthly minimum revenue commitment not met, new audit rule for monthly contract minimum lines commitment not met, new audit rule animal minimum revenue commitment not met, invoice on audit task, audit rules related to missing issues, bill pay improvements, upload provider profiles under bill pay improvements, and funds reserving notification and retention rules. Quite the mouthful, but very good detail from Mobicord on the Brightfin Foundation. Last one, I thought there was 3. There's 4. Brightfin Mobile Management, same version as the previous one. New provider actions configurations, justification criteria, and other notes. Allow users without the roles configuration to make requests for anyone. Show all plans for the device. Hide shipping carrier options with configurations. Use ETF waiver. Restrict ordering for more items. Allow to disconnect inactive users. Telecom services flag business category. SIM card options. Modification of list and locations. Detailed order summary. And under eSIM functionality, ICC-ID not mandatory for eSIM devices configuration enables ordering new devices with eSIM without registering the ICC-ID, and new audit rule non-authorized features, improvements, upgrade device that is non-eligible for upgrade, setting plan model in the golden catalog, and EIP equipment installation plans, pricing option. Another mouthful from Mobicord on Brightfin Mobile Management in version 22.20.930. Up next on our list is going to be Enosix SAP integration for PO and asset management to version 1.0.01. in this version, introduces more flexible search options in the SAP Ordr widget when looking at values from SAP, materials, purchasing org, etc. Also prevents duplicate purchase orders from being created when the SAP order form is submitted. So thank you from Innosix Inc. for that new or updated SAP integration for PO and asset management. Next on our list is going to be Exalate, integration with Jira, Azure DevOps, Zendesk, and more to version 1.1.0. Updated the copy of the initial page to provide additional details about the architecture of the solution based on comments from customers. I apologize I did not read this ahead of time, but I don't really have a category for informational only, so maybe we'll introduce that in the future. But that's what's new from Idalco NV for that integration application. Next is going to be from Swisscom Incident Integration to version 3.5.11. In this one, new business phone and mobile phone are sent for affected user and reporter, and fix the involved resource sent in correct format. Sent in correct format or incorrect format? Sent in the correct format. Well, that could be confusing. But we got release notes, so I love it. Thank you, Swisscom Schweiss AG, for the Swisscom Incident Integration update. Next is going to be Tricentis Test Automation to version 3.5.0. Added support for Utah. Woo! Added to import template sets in Case Creator. Import scripted REST APIs in Case Creator, and ability to record test scripts in the Polaris view or Next Experience. Change remove Case Created field from Case Creator view. Resource links for TTA agent to go directly to downloads for Windows and Mac. And fix displaying screenshots in case results. Ability to search from recorder toolbar, and issue causing recorder to lose focus when switching pages. So that's what's new from Tricentis with their updated application. TSI Detect from ServiceNow, multivariate time series anomaly detection. Oh, that's fun. I remember this one. New ability to automatically fine-tune the models, introduce the classifier to learn from user feedback, add training sysid logs for easier debugging, change the convert metric attribution scores to unit vector percentage, and only return the ones contributing to more than 1% of the anomaly, make the minimum anomaly duration parameter configurable, and display anomaly score for all anomaly results, batch or cascade, and fix timestamps mismatch between cascade and batch, and timestamps UTC versus local time. Thank you, ServiceNow, for those great release notes on TSI Detect. Second to last one here, everybody, Verizon Digital Enablement Platform version 1.0.2, ITSM version. I don't know what that means. It's not a release notes fail. We got something. I just don't know what it means. Other than it's the ITSM version of an integration option for our wireline enterprise customers to manage incident events via their ServiceNow. We do see incident change in CMDB. Yeah. It's strange release notes. Anyways, next one, Zoom In. They seem to make a regular appearance. Zoom In, turn your ServiceNow solution into a one-stop shop for personalized product answers. To version 7.0.2, fix for issues with access and deactivation of case deflection, CSCH or CSH support, error pages, and workaround for knowledge-based access only for case deflection. That was our last update from Zoom In. We have done the entire episode. Just to refresh your memory, we just looked at 33 applications, 9 new releases, 12 highlights, 4 compatibility updates, 3 fixes, and 5 release notes fails. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in what got updated in the ServiceNow store. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.